Today I'm going to share 40 tips and tricks that you can use on Procreate with the iPad. So let's just open up the app and jump straight in. The first thing is this little bar at the side. You can actually change it to be on the right hand side or the left hand side. You just come up to preferences where it says right hand interfaces, where you can either toggle it on to go on the right hand side or toggle it off to go on the left hand side. Quick menu saves you so much time. I've actually got it set so if I press this little square here, it'll bring up my quick menu, and you can set what you would mostly use in these boxes here, and you can just hold it down and it will give you a list of all the things that you can choose from. You can actually tap 4 fingers on the whole screen, and this will take away the bars and everything from around it, so it gives you a nice full screen. I like doing this for screen recordings on my reels and things. You don't have all the interference around the edge. Just tap 4 fingers to bring it back. You can actually change these preferences that I'm showing you in gestures. You just come up to the wrench tool and you go to preferences and you go to gesture controls. And this is where you can choose how things will work for you. So for the quick menu, I've got it set to the tap little square at the side. So I've toggled that on, and you can choose all different other things if you want to change anything. If you want the brush cursor to show like this, where you've got the little circle and you can see it on the page, you actually go to preferences again, and here you've got brush cursor, which you can have it toggled on or off. Using the split screen feature is really good. I love using that, so I'll just show you as an example with Pinterest. I'll just hold down the app and then I'll bring it to the side and let go, and now that gives me a split screen and I can adjust it here in the middle. If I just draw this heart and then I didn't want it there, I can just tap 2 fingers to undo and tap 3 fingers to redo. If you select what's on the layer and you want to copy and paste, you can just swipe 3 fingers down, select copy, and then you can swipe 3 fingers down again and press paste. If you come to the layers and then just double tap with 2 fingers on a layer, you can just change the opacity by sliding your finger across the page. If you swipe 2 fingers to the right on a layer, it will set it to alpha lock, where it's got this little grid behind her. That means it's on alpha lock. You can also access that by just clicking here and you can see it's on alpha lock. If you wanted to clear a layer, I've actually got it to 3 fingers scrub to clear it. So if I just do this, it will clear the layer. But if you want to bring it back, just press 2 fingers and it will come back again. If you draw a line and it's a little bit wiggly, hold the pencil down, or the pen, and then it will snap into a straight line. You can also do this with a circle, so just draw the circle, hold the pen, it will snap into a circle, and then with the pen on the page, you press down with your other finger and it will snap into a perfect circle. If you click and hold a layer, you can actually move it around the layers and place it to wherever you want it to be. You can actually pinch 2 layers together to merge them into one. You can also select the layers by swiping to the right, and you can then group them together. You click onto the group word here and you can actually rename the groups. And again, if you hold down the group, you can actually move the group around as well to place it wherever you want. So you can actually transform certain parts of the drawing. So I'll select the hair by clicking this arrow, and then down here you can use distort, because you can move things around in your own way. The box changes shape however you might need it to. And with warp, you can actually just push the box around, so it gives you a little bit more freedom. You can actually move it from the middle. You can also flip vertically or horizontally if you select something. So you can do that as separate parts to the drawing, and you can actually come up to actions, go to canvas and flip horizontal here, and you can flip the whole entire image. Using the magnetics and snapping tool is really helpful. You need to come to uniform and then you click here on snapping, and you can select the magnetics and the snapping tool here, and this is just really helpful for when you're resizing and helps keeps things aligned if you're turning an image around as well. This is great for making pattern designs. If you click on the brushes and you just swipe down on this list slightly, this will bring up this little plus sign, and here you can create your own brush album. If you swipe left on a brush, you can then duplicate it. Duplicating a brush, if you're planning to mess around with the settings on it, is really good so that you don't interfere with the original brush settings. So to change stabilization, I feel that's really good because it just gives you better control of the brush. So if you click into the brush and then you click on stabilization, you just want to make sure the streamline is at maximum. So this is what it would be like if it was at minimum. As you can see, the lines are pretty wobbly and not giving me a very sharp edge. Whereas if I bring the streamline all the way up and then do it again, you can see like it just gives me so much better control. If you're using a brush that you really like, but you want to erase something with the same brush, just hold down on the eraser brush and it will now erase with that same brush. You open up the colour palettes and you go to Harmony. This will help give you better colour suggestions. As you see that I'm moving one colour, it's choosing automatically the other two colours that will go with it. If you click on this little word here, you can then select from this list here. So if you struggle to find colours that work well together, this is a really good tip. I love using Gaussian blur. It really gives a cool effect. I just draw a line and then I'll go to this little wand icon up here. Gaussian blur is just here on this list. And then I use my finger on the screen to slide across. It's creating a really blurry effect. So I'm only at 17 and it's already like disappearing. I just find this effect really good, especially for like adding blush or maybe some soft highlights to a character if you're drawing that. And then if you use the Gaussian blur and pull it across, it will give it a nice subtle effect. Did you know you could make a colour palette from a photo? If you come to palettes, you can actually press this little plus icon. Here you can create a new palette, but I'm going to press new from photos. So I'm going to just click on this one, for example. This dress is really nice, I love the colours. And it's now imported that colour palette. It's just a quick, good way to bring up a bunch of colours that reference from a photo that you really like. To fill with colour really fast, I'm just going to draw some circles quickly. To fill in the colour, you'll just drag and drop. Click on continue filling at the top there. And then you just click in the rest of wherever you're filling in colour and it will just do it like that automatically. It saves you so much time. If you want to automatically change a colour of something, so let's say the hair for example, if you click on this icon here, down the bottom you'll see colour fill. You can actually untick that or have it selected. If you click on a layer that you want to change, you just press it and then press select. It will automatically change it to whatever the colour is you have up here. And then if you open up this classic grid, you can actually change the colours by just moving the cursor around, and it's a really fun and fast way to choose colours for your drawing to save time. I actually think she looks really good with pink hair now. To select a colour really fast, you can just hold and select the colour and it will change it up there for you. And if you hold down the colour in the corner, it will change it back to the previous colour that you just had. So you can actually track your time that you've taken to create an art piece if you just go to Actions, Canvas, and then Canvas Information, and then come down to Statistics, and here it will give you your tracked time. Another thing I love using is the drawing guide. So you go to Actions, Canvas, and you can toggle on drawing guide. And if you go Edit Drawing Guide, this is where you can play around with the settings by making the squares bigger or smaller. When you're writing or drawing something, it just helps you stay on line so you don't go off center. If you go back to Edit Drawing Guide and you turn on Symmetry over here, and if you have it on vertical, that means when you draw on one side of the picture, it will repeat on the other side. A great thing as well is the reference box. So you can bring that up by going to Actions, Canvas, and then clicking on Reference, and it will bring up this little box. So you can have it on canvas so you can zoom into your actual drawing while still having the picture in a smaller scale. Or you can click on image and import an image from your gallery as a reference in that box, and you can use it the same way. You can also select colours just by selecting it like that, the same way you would do here. It's so cool, I love it. Don't forget you can also export your whole drawing as a time lapse. If you go to Actions again and then go to Video, you can actually time lapse the replay of your whole drawing and swipe across actually to like speed it up. But you need to make sure that time lapse recording is toggled on, and here is where you can export it full length or 30 seconds. Go to Actions, Share, and to save it as a PSD will allow you to bring it into Photoshop to continue editing in Photoshop if that's something you want to do. And to save with a transparent background, you have to save it as a PNG. If we come back to the gallery, if you want to group particular drawings together in like a folder, you can just click and hold an image, drag it over another one, let go, and it will create a stack. And then you can drag other ones in there too, but you have to let it open to drag and drop that one. You can also click select up here, select multiple drawings, and then drag and drop all of those together into your stack. The next thing is you can actually drag photos from Google or Pinterest into your canvas really quick and easy. You can't actually do this from the app, so you'd have to go to like a web page. So I'll just go to Pinterest. I just had to go back and literally type it in the web search because it had opened up in the app and wasn't working. When you found an image that you like, click and hold, drag over, and imports it straight into Procreate. It's so good. And by the way, how lovely is this girl's hair? That is just, oh, I love her hair. The colour is so beautiful.